Welcome in, everyone, to Lively Lewis Stories.
That's right, we're back with even more awesome adventures with Levi and Ivy.
Set your storytime meter to fun and get ready to join the Lively Lewis crew.
All you need is your imagination and...
Off we go! I can't wait to see where our story takes us today.
Have you ever wanted to get more Lively Lewis in your life?
Well, we've got you covered.
Grab an adult and zoom over to livelylewisshop.com.
Or just click on the link in our show notes.
Enough about that. Let's get to today's super Lively Lewis story.
Can you believe we're almost there? Whispered Ivy with her face pressed against the little round window on a plane. I know. I feel like I've been waiting for this moment for weeks, and now it's finally here, replied Levi. We're going to South Africa! They shouted together, then quickly quieted down as the plane was full, and they didn't want to disturb anyone. They just couldn't contain their excitement any longer. After all, this was a trip of a lifetime. They were going to one of the most magical and enchanting places in the world for animal fans. Home to some of the most magnificent animals ever, like leopards, elephants, rhinos, zebras, giraffes, and Ivy and Levi's favorite, hippos. They just couldn't wait to see all these incredible animals in person. Their great adventure seemed so close at that point, but what they didn't realize was they were in for a journey that they couldn't even imagine. Just then, their plane was getting ready to land, and the pilot gave everyone some disappointing news. It looked like the weather was not the best that day. Rainy and overcast was the forecast. Well, that's okay, said Ivy to Levi, trying to stay upbeat. One day of rain won't ruin our animal adventure. Then she listened a little longer. It turned out the weather for the next day, and the next day, and the next day was going to be the same if the storm system heading their way stayed on course. Immediately, Levi and Ivy looked like they were going to cry. Their parents stepped in to let them know that things changed and they were still going to have an amazing time in South Africa. Levi and Ivy did their best to try and stay positive, but as they began to land, and raindrops raced down the plane window in front of them, they saw their South African animal adventure slipping away. They left the plane and walked into the airport where people were going about their day, grabbing their luggage and rushing to board planes, while Levi and Ivy were both looking rather sad. They flopped down in two seats as their parents figured out where to pick up their luggage and how to get to their hotel. It was then that their parents saw how disappointed they still looked. I'm sorry about the weather, kids, but there is nothing we can do about it, said their dad. We'll just have to make the best of it. He's right, Levi and Ivy. Sometimes when we're trying to make the best of a bad situation, we find something even better. I guess, muttered Levi and Ivy as their dad pointed to something in the corner of the airport and suggested they go give it a look. It was a virtual reality machine that took you on an animal adventure through the savannas of South Africa. Why don't you two give it a try? Said Levi and Ivy's dad as he placed some money into the VR machine and handed them each a headset to put on. Your mom and I will get our luggage and call for a car to pick us up while you two visit some animal friends. Levi and Ivy knew their dad was trying to be helpful, but how could a VR experience even compare to seeing the real thing? But since this may be their only chance to experience an animal adventure on their trip, they decided to give it a try. And it was a good thing they did. Levi and Ivy thanked their parents for the suggestion as they slipped on the headset and got ready for their VR experience. The first thing they noticed when the experience started up was that it was a beautiful, sunny day. This is just what I imagined it would be like on our animal adventure, said Levi, sounding a little down and wishing he was experiencing this for real and not through a VR headset. I know, it looks amazing, said Ivy. Levi and Ivy looked around as they rumbled over the ground in a stunning animal refuge. They couldn't believe how realistic everything was and even commented on how they feel like they could feel the warm sun on their skin. Wow, this is really good virtual reality technology, said Levi. I feel like we're outside. Me too, added Ivy. I almost feel like we could step right out of this Jeep and walk around. And that's when Levi and Ivy looked at each other and noticed the Jeep they were in was slowing down. Once it stopped, they decided, why not give it a try? Why not see if they could step out and walk around? So they did. As soon as Ivy and Levi's feet hit the ground, they felt something magical happen. It was as if the headsets were lifted from their heads, and they were really on a savanna in South Africa on a warm, sunny day. They each spun around and took in how real it all felt. And then something even more amazing happened. They heard someone call their names. Levi! Ivy! They heard from behind them. When they turned around, a girl about their age was running toward them. Welcome to your animal adventure. I'm so glad you could make it, said the little girl. My name is Ariah, and I've been waiting for you all day. Waiting? For us? Asked Levi. Yes, I'm so sorry that the weather isn't better, exclaimed Ariah. I felt so bad that you were so disappointed about the thought of missing your animal adventure that I had to make sure you saw my special VR machine. I'm so glad your dad pointed it out. Levi and Ivy were very surprised by everything that was going on, but also very excited. They loved nothing more than a good adventure, and this one seemed to be shaping up to be unforgettable. Ivy and Levi said hello to Ariah and asked what they should do first, not knowing how long they had in this incredible world. Ariah suggested that they meet a few of her friends, and that's exactly what they did. After hopping back into the Jeep, Ariah gave them a tour of the area. Gentle rolling hills stretched out before them as the long grasses swayed in the breeze as they passed. The landscape was dotted with giant baobab and leafy acacia trees, which happened to be the favorite snack of any giraffe passing by. Wow, look at those giraffes, called out Ivy, trying so hard to keep her voice down. They watched as the gentle giants used their tongues to grab leaves from the tree and gobble them down for an early afternoon snack. Next, they saw rhinos, zebras, and elephants sharing a drink at a nearby watering hole. It was a scene right out of one of their animal picture books, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. But that wasn't even the best part of this virtual reality experience. Ariah stopped the Jeep and suggested that they hop out for a closer look. Levi and Ivy quickly said they shouldn't. They heard the one big rule to follow on any animal adventure was to stay in your Jeep and not interact with any of the animals, no matter what. Oh, absolutely. That's a great rule, and one that should be followed on a regular animal adventure. But this is no ordinary adventure, said Ariah with a big smile. Just follow me. Ariah then led Levi and Ivy down to the watering hole where she said hello to all the animals there. And the most amazing part was that they said hello right back. Hi, Ariah, they all called out together. Who are your friends? Asked a thirsty zebra between sips. This is Levi and Ivy, answered Ariah as she turned to see her new friends staring in disbelief at what was going on. The animals talk? Exclaimed Levi. This is the greatest animal adventure ever, added Ivy as she jumped around in excitement. But what she didn't know was that wasn't even the best part. She and Levi watched in awe as the other animals started to emerge and join the group at the watering hole. There were kudos, impalas, meerkats, and the animal that both Levi and Ivy had been waiting to see. What was it, friends? A hippo! Oh my goodness, it's a hippo! Called out Ivy in a whisper, not wanting to frighten any of the animals. It's even cooler looking in person. Well, that is nice to hear, replied the hippo. I needed to hear some good news right now because I'm not having the best day. Levi, Ivy, and Ariah were all interested in helping the hippo and asked exactly what was going on. As the other animals went back to their day of snacking, drinking water, and resting in the sun, Levi, Ivy, and Ariah walked along with the hippo and talked. Thanks for asking, said the hippo when Ivy asked if there was anything they could do to help. So here's the story. I had my heart set on having a picnic today with my cousins, and they just had to change our plans. We've been planning this picnic for weeks, and I was really excited about it. The hippo looked really sad and disappointed, and Levi and Ivy knew just how he felt. We were feeling the same way you were just a little while ago, Levi said. You mean you had your picnic with your cousins canceled last minute? Answered the hippo. Not exactly, answered Ivy, but we're pretty sure the animal adventure we were planning to go on during our trip isn't going to happen because of the weather. But you're on an animal adventure right now, answered the hippo, sounding confused. You're right, but we mean our real animal adventure with our parents, said Levi, trying to explain. But as we stay here longer, we realize that this animal adventure is absolutely amazing and better than anything we could have imagined. And that's our point, added Ivy. It's like our mom told us when our dad said to make the best of a bad situation. Sometimes when we're trying to make the best of a bad situation, we find something even better. And we definitely found something incredible when we agreed to check out Ariah's virtual reality animal adventure machine in the airport. And now look at us, talking to a real hippo, said Levi. Yep, we didn't let ourselves pout while our parents went to pick up our luggage, said Ivy. Our dad suggested we try out this cool VR machine to make our situation better. And it did. Way better. I think they make a really good point, said Ariah to her hippo friend. What do you say? We try to make the best of your bad picnic situation? I know you'll miss seeing your cousins, but maybe we could have a nice picnic together. The hippo was still looking a bit sad when all of a sudden Levi and Ivy's words made sense. You're right. What is sitting around all day and being sad gonna do? The hippo started to say. Why waste this beautiful day? I have my good friend Ariah by my side and my new friends who seem pretty cool. Not to mention a full picnic basket sitting right under that tree over there. And at that moment, the hippo knew he had made the best of his bad situation. He would see his cousins soon, but for now, he could still have an amazing time with Ariah, Levi, and Ivy. And that's exactly what they did. They even invited the other animals around the watering hole to join them. They each brought their favorite foods, and the little picnic turned into a giant party with every kind of animal you could think of, enjoying a beautiful day together. Wow, that was really wonderful, said the hippo as Ariah, Levi, and Ivy helped him clean up after the animals had left. Wow, that was really wonderful, said the hippo as Ariah, Levi, and Ivy helped him clean up after all the animals had left. I couldn't have imagined a better day, and I still have my picnic with my cousins to look forward to. I'm so happy we talked and I didn't let this day slip away just sitting by myself feeling sad. Thank you all so much. Are you kidding me? Thank you, said Ivy. This was better than any animal adventure we could have ever imagined in our wildest dreams. Totally, added Levi. I'm so happy we gave the VR machine a try and didn't just sit and sulk at the airport. It was at that point that Levi and Ivy both looked a little worried. Oh no, we need to get back to the airport, said Levi to Ivy. Mom and Dad will be looking for us. She's right, added Levi. I'm sorry, but we have to go. We'll never forget this place, or either of you. The hippo and Ariah gave their new friends a big hug, then Ariah assured Levi and Ivy that they would be back in plenty of time. One of the other magical things about my VR machine is that it kind of stops time, said Ariah with a giggle. It says it runs for 15 minutes, and even though you've been here much longer, it will only feel like 15 minutes had passed when you get back. So your parents should just be getting back with your luggage now. Thank you again, Ariah, said Levi. Do you think we'll ever see you again? I have a funny feeling that could be possible, she answered with a little grin as Levi and Ivy hopped into their Jeep and put their VR headsets back on. With one last goodbye, Levi and Ivy felt themselves being whisked away back to the real world. Once the VR machine's screen went dark, they took off their VR headset just in time to see their parents walking toward them with their luggage. Hey, you two, that was perfect timing. How was the animal adventure? Asked their dad. Better than anything we could have imagined, answered Levi. Thank you for suggesting that we do that instead of just being upset about the weather, said Ivy. I'm so glad it was fun, said their mom with a smile. And we have some good news about the weather. It seems this storm is moving pretty fast, and starting tomorrow afternoon, we should be seeing clear skies for the rest of the week. So our animal adventure is still on? Asked Levi and Ivy together with great excitement. Absolutely, answered their dad. They all gathered their things after hearing that great news and headed off to their hotel. The next day, the sun was out and they arrived at the animal refuge, ready to take in all the stunning natural beauty and amazing animals South Africa had to offer. They were quickly greeted by their guide and seated in a Jeep that looked similar to the one in their VR animal adventure. And then something even more amazing happened. Their guide introduced his daughter, who would be helping him that day. I would like you to all meet Ariah, said the guide. Levi and Ivy couldn't believe their eyes. It was the same Ariah from their VR animal adventure. She gave them a knowing glance and smile, and they did the same. Hi, everyone. We're so happy to have you with us today for this wonderful journey to see some of the incredible animals that call South Africa home, Ariah began as she looked right at Levi and Ivy. We'll be starting off by driving down to the watering hole, where a group of hippos was spotted this morning enjoying a refreshing drink. Or maybe having a picnic, Levi whispered to Ivy as she giggled. So if you're ready to go, we'll be on our way, said Ariah to Levi, Ivy, and their parents. And please remember our biggest rule today. Stay in the Jeep at all times and never interact with any of the animals. We're ready when you are, Ariah, said Levi and Ivy with a knowing smile as the Jeep rumbled over the ground toward an amazing new adventure. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned a little something too.
And since we know everyone has their own story, we'd love to hear yours.
If you have an idea for a Lively Lewis story, leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, your idea, and your little one's name.
Then maybe our next adventure will be with you.
Until our next Storytime Hangout.
Thanks for listening. We can't wait to share another fun, Lively Lewis story with you.